Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Vanessa Dunn Guyton, and I am the proud founder and executive director of Hush No More. Hush No More supports survivors when they're ready to come forward to share their story or just to have somebody to listen to. So, welcome to Hush No More Champions. We are excited to have another great discussion. This is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So, all month long, we have been talking to survivors of sexual assault and those who have been doing some amazing things in our community. So I am honored to introduce to you Dr. Larisa Sharipova. We're going to talk about how you should listen to your body, how your body talks to us after trauma, and what are some things that you can do to heal naturally from a holistic standpoint. And it's so important to just get that perspective. And how do we get to the next level? That's important. I'm on this big thing about healing and healing naturally. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So thank you for joining, and I look forward for her to come on.
Hi,
Hello, beautiful. Hello, hello. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
good. How are you, Vanessa? Nice to be here.
Yeah, I am so busy. It's Sexual Assault Awareness Month, so I have been running around. I was in Georgia today, but I'm feeling good. I'm excited that I'm able to walk in my purpose. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm excited because me and you finally get to have a conversation that everybody else can hear. We always have these amazing conversations offline. So now our community can hear about how you can listen to your body and how you can heal. And so it's so important to me to look at some more holistic things for us to get to the next level. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was trained. I was trained as a medical doctor a long, long time ago. 25 years ago, I graduated medical school in Europe, and I was specialized in obstetric gynecology. So I was specializing in women's health, particular hormonal endocrinology and hormonal balancing. When I moved to America, I wanted to continue my passion to help women, but learning about American medical system, I decided to take a different approach
Mhm.
to women's health. So I went to Institute for Integrative Nutrition and become holistic health practitioner, or I call myself women's lifestyle doctor. So I prescribe lifestyle and nutrition, but not drugs.
Okay.
So I treat body from holistic perspective. And I had my own journey through healing and healing from sexual abuse in my early adult years, and I had my health challenges. So I healed myself through holistic perspective, and now I help women. I'm very passionate to share all information that I learned through my healing journey and through all my knowledge. And I work with clients and help them through holistic perspective, healing body from different levels of healing. It's physiological, biological, biochemical, also spiritual, mind, body connection. So all this are very important in healing process. Yeah.
What I love that you said was that you looked at the medical system here in the United States.
Mhm.
What did you see that was different? What is some major things that was different than what you were taught?
Yeah, it's very different approach in Europe. And when I practiced as OBGYN, we practice as integrative medicine. So we approach to medicine not just prescribing and um, testing and diagnosis, but also we look for the whole body. We can use different modalities besides drugs and surgeries, and we try to use those modalities like less harmful first. Like we can change our lifestyle, or like I was able to prescribe vitamins and probiotics along with antibiotics. So before I put people on hormonal replacement therapy, so you can do a lot of things before you succumb to prescribing drugs and surgeries. So for me, it was kind of integrative. I can do both things, but when I came here and learned that here other modalities are not acceptable in regular conventional medicine or allopathic medicine, and I saw how to survive here as a doctor or be here as a doctor, you have to keep people in a chronic disease state to make money or to live. So for me, it was not in my integrity to practice that way of medicine. Yeah. So, and that's why I wanted to learn, particular when I studied for my medical board, I got very sick. I had a lot of chronic conditions, and actually I couldn't get pregnant for a few years, and I was put it on drugs, of course, as it's protocol here. And I decided to just remove everything and look for different sources of healing. And I heal myself through mostly changing lifestyle, changing the way I eat, and detoxification, because we know that a lot of toxins surround us and in our food and everywhere else. So as I clean my body, um, I could get pregnant. So that's my story, one of my stories of healing. So now I'm very passionate to heal others. So with same approach.
Yeah. I always say that in our country, they always want to prescribe medication or do surgery. That's like the first thing.
Mhm.
And there's so many different ways that we can heal. And when you're dealing with sexual assault, it does affect the physical body, it affects the mental, physical. It's weird how people really don't understand how trauma affects everything in our life after it happens, right? And so for you, you were able to figure out ways to heal from that, which I was so impressed with. What was some of the trauma signs that you were experiencing that you wanted to work on from a holistic perspective?
So when I had physical challenges with my health, I did not realize that time that that's probably related to my trauma that I had in my 18 when I was 18. And when I was in medical school, I was sexually assaulted by a professor in medical school. And at that time, I didn't I didn't think that it was kind of sexual violence, because being woman or being young teenager or young adult, I thought that's probably partial, like part of our life, like to bear all those kind of sexual harassment and sexual violence. So I experienced that, but I put on the back of my mind and kind of try to forget about that experience. And but I know, looking retrospectively, that that affect not only my mental health, because after that incident, I thought about myself as unworthy or like dirty or not good enough or something like low. My self-esteem went very low. So, and that affected how I behave in my life, like for example choosing my future husband. And apparently I end up with this relationship that was also abusive, and we know so many stories that happen the same way. So if you were abused once, you kind of become a victim until you heal your trauma. So, and I was for 25 years being in marriage. It was unhealthy relationship. It was unhappy relationship, and finally I ended those relationship. Um, but it was very abusive relationship, and when I start learning about myself, that's when I start realizing that everything has the reason. I got in those relationships because my previous trauma,
Right.
and I start working on myself internally and realizing, and I end my marriage after 25 years. But before that, also that affected also my physical body, because when you go through the trauma, particularly sexual assault, sexual violence, it's all affected your sexual organs. And it's kind of, particularly when you go through that trauma, it's like stagnation of energy that's happened during the trauma. And stagnation of energy is like less blood flow, less neurological nerve tissue. So it's all affected, and that's how you create chronic inflammation in those organs. And that's why I created that kind of environment that I couldn't get pregnant. So that all affected how physically I evolved. And even though I first start helping myself physically on a physical level, but after I help on a physical level and clean my body and work on that level, I become more aware of the mental level and spiritual level. So it's always like go like layers. If you clean one layer or work on one layer, it's always another layer open. So for me, started from the physical body when I help to flow my energy and flow my circulation. And so I got pregnant finally, cleaning my body from toxins. I open my mental capacity and open to be more spiritual and working on my spiritual levels. So now I much better as a person physically and spiritually and mentally, and that's why I changed my life by getting divorced after 25 years, by becoming a better person and educating others also. And I believe that all those symptoms that happen to me or whatever happened to me, it's all our body, like infertility or pain or anxiety, depression. It's all symptoms that our body show us, talk to us. So that's what I call them, our body sent you messages. That's how we have to listen. When I couldn't get pregnant, I didn't know how it could be connected to my past. I just was thinking about that particular moment, why I cannot get pregnant, even though everything was okay from the doctor perspective. But my body were not ready to have children. So it's one of the messages that our body communicate with us, like, yeah, you shouldn't be pregnant because something else is wrong with you. So my body was toxic, and when I cleaned my body, I got pregnant. And that's all my healing journey and all that I learned. I wanted to share, and I published a book, and I call it "Listen to Your Body and Regain Your Health." So how we learn from our body messages, how our body communicates with us, and how we can listen those symptoms or signals or messages from our body, so we can start looking on the different layers of our healing journey. And this is what my book, it's called "Listen to Your Body and Regain Your
I
Health."
love it.
So yeah,
I have the link. The link is at the bottom, and we'll also have the link in the chat so that individuals can go out and actually purchase it, because there's so much information to tell us what are some of the signs that something is going on with our body. And you
mhm,
said it, the depression, the anxiety, infertility, those are things that there's more to your something's going on, especially if you've
mhm.
had trauma. When you said you cleaned your body, what does that look like for people like me that don't really understand like the good eating? What does cleaning your body mean?
Yeah. So it can be on a different levels. And as we know, we live in a toxic environment. And I call toxins stressors. So those stressors can be external stressors, like a physical stressors, like even different posture, like improper posture. It can be stressor for your body. Also, toxins from the food that we eat, toxins from the air that we breathe, from the water that we drink. So we get exposed to toxins everywhere. We
Okay.
want it or not, but sometimes we choose those toxins, like buying food that's full of glyphosate, so buying or drinking water from the tap. So we have to be aware where those toxins come from. Some of them we cannot control, for example, chemtrails and the air that we go outside and breathe. So sometimes we cannot control, but most of the toxins that are around us we can control. Like we can put filter in our water tap and drink filtered water, or maybe eliminating drinking from the plastic bottle that's full of toxins, all those plastic that affect our body. So food we can choose. We can choose organic food, or we can choose conventionally grown food that is full of glyphosate that affect our body. So when I start learning about toxins, how it's affect our body, I start eliminating those toxins as much as possible. So I start buying organic food, and this is one way of just reducing toxic load. So I look at the body like a bucket. So we have genetically, everybody have a different size of the bucket. Like maybe I have a smaller bucket, you have a bigger bucket. We can fit all those toxins that we accumulate throughout our life. And the older you become, if you don't clean your body, your bucket become full and starts spilling those toxins, those symptoms, as I say, when your body starts showing up different symptoms. So that's one of the way you can listen. If you don't feel good, or if you feel like inflammation, or feel inflamed or pain, it's a symptom. So look at the evaluate your life, or evaluate your food, or
This
so
is
yeah.
look at that bottle. So this plastic bottle that I'm drinking water out of is
Mhm.
healthy.
So why it's bad about plastic? Because plastic, it's considered a hormonal. It's affect our hormone system. So because water in the plastic, it's extract all toxin that is in the plastic. It goes leak to the water. Particularly if you freeze the bottle, or it's in the car under the sun, it gets heated, or we don't know how it's stored. So plastic from the bottle can get to the water, and that's what we drink. That, and the best way to switch to glass or to metal bottle, which is much safer options for the, if you want to have in a container. So, and that's affect your hormonal system, because all these plasticides, it's considered estrogen hormones. So it's like exotic, not normal estrogen that can affect your estrogenic system. And if we have some too many exogenous estrogen that comes from outside, like from the plastic, it's affect our hormonal system. And that's how we can create a lot of hormonal disbalances in the body, not only infertility like I had, but also we can have hormonal cancers like breast cancers, or uterine cancers, ovarian cancers, prostate cancers. So all that environmental toxins affect our body.
That.
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
can
also,
tell my mom this. My mom drinks bottled water. She drinks about 4 or 5 bottled water a night. A
yeah,
lot of it. And so I'm listening, but she also has a lot of hot flashes. Mom, not trying to tell you business. But
mhm,
I know this happens to a lot of women. So she has a lot of hot flashes. So now I'm like, maybe that's contributing to it as well, because she drinks a lot of bottled water. And
yeah,
so that's something that I want to mention to her, because it's something very simple that we can change in our lifestyle.
for sure. And it's not only affect our body, it affect our environment. How much plastic we put out there? Every bottle you put outside, and it's gonna be contaminated to our environment. Not only contaminate our body, but so yeah, it's a very simple thing that you can switch. Just buy a filter, like a carbon filter, like a Brita filter,
Yeah.
and use it in a glass uh, cup, or yeah.
Okay.
So
That's fair.
it's easy. So those kind of we can control. Yeah.
You were talking about cleaning it out. So our food helps us. Were you getting to that? Because I kind of cut you off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So food, watching what we eat from an organic standpoint, that helps eliminate all the toxins as well.
Mhm. Yes. So food is very important, because we know that conventionally grown food, it has a lot of pesticides like a glyphosates, and that's affect our particular gut, because what we put inside, it's supposed to go through our gut and microbiome that is in our gut. And this is the number one source of all chronic diseases, because what we eat, our bugs in the stomach eat, and they produce all vitamins and minerals that we need. So if we eat bad food, we don't nourish those bugs that in our gut that we need to sustain our life. So bad food, bad bugs, or no bugs. So, and those, and like when we eat glyphosates, we can damage our microbiome. We don't have good vitamins that those microbiome produce for us. We don't have good minerals. So our body is not nourished from those, that perspective, from minerals. So we want to eat more. So the more bad food we eat, the more we want to eat, because it's our body is not nourished. It's not enough vitamins and minerals that need for our cells. So We have more food. We need more food. We crave more food because we don't nourish our body from that perspective. And I call it actually secondary food. And the primary food is food for our soul. Besides physical body nourishment that we need to survive every day, we also need nourishment for our mind, for our soul. And those kind of nourishment that would make us joyful, what make us laugh, what make us enjoy our lives. So that's food for our soul. And we're not nourished enough with primary food, we tend to crave secondary food that we need, like like cravings or comfort food, we call it. Right, when we're not nourished enough on a soul, on a mind kind of perspective, we always crave for something physical. Like if we don't have enough love in our life, we always crave for chocolate. Like oh,
Really?
yes, because chocolate is associated with like love, like comfort. Like, yeah, if you don't have enough like care, nobody cares about you, you don't have anybody in your life that loves you, hug you, feel cared about, you crave some sweets because you want to be a sweet, feeling sweet. So we're looking for sweets or for chocolate. So if we nourish enough on a soul level, we don't need secondary food or food for our physical body. So the more we fulfill in our life, the less food we need, or less comfort food we need, or less sugar and bread we need.
So I was on your website and I was looking at how you could look at your hormone imbalance, how you actually look at your cravings and at your diet, and how that tells our body. Like lately, I'm telling you what I've been craving: Oreo cookies, like crazy. I mean, like I bought a family pack of Oreo cookies, and it's outside of my norm, right, for me to crave. So, but I feel like the more unhealthy I eat, I'm listening to you, and it is definitely true that I have been getting worse. It's like a continuous cycle. So I'm wondering if it's because I'm not putting the minerals and the vitamins in my body through my food. Now I'm trying to crave other things. So I'm listening to you, and it's not only for the audience, it's actually for my life as well,
Mhm,
because I'm always trying to heal. And I
mhm.
realize that sometimes we can heal in one area and not another. So I'm wondering if I haven't healed from a physical dietary standpoint. I haven't really paid attention to that.
Mhm.
I'm just like, whoa.
So the interesting about cravings. So cravings can be, yes, it's maybe your body message gives you that you're lacking of some nutrients
Mhm.
or some minerals. Like if you ever heard about pregnant women craving of eating sharks, like they missing calcium. That's why they were eating sharks or some weird food because they're missing some or losing some minerals during the pregnancy because they don't have a balanced food, a balanced diet. So they have crazy cravings during the pregnancy. We have cravings throughout our life, like when we go through the puberty or when we menopause or when we stressed, we always have some cravings. So sometimes it's a mental related to our emotion, or sometimes we just missing some minerals. Why I love dark chocolate? Because it's full of iron, and I know that I'm low on iron. That's why I like to eat dark chocolate. So sometimes we eat something that we need, and that's why our body like intuitively wants to eat something. Or sometimes because of our emotions we eat. We need it for our emotions. When I work with my clients, I remember I had one client. She and I when I during our work together, she said, "Today I went through Dunkin' Donuts drive-through and I bought some donut." And I said, "Well, let's unpack it. Why did you want to go there?" Like she was all doing well, like working with me. And she said, "Today," I said, let's see why you wanted to do that." She said, "I was on the phone while driving and I was upset about something." And like, I think she was talking to her husband and they had the argument and like She just unconsciously went through the drive-through, bought donut, and feels satisfied by eating it. So because she needed that to combat her overwhelmed emotions
Motion.
because of the upset. So now when we went through that, and she know that it was related to her emotions that she had because of the conversation, next time when she has that cravings, she can go back like, oh yeah, I know why I want that donut or why I have that craving. And you can do like some breathing exercise instead of going through the drive-through and buy that sweet or something that you're craving about.
So
So
do a breathing exercise to reduce the craving.
yeah, or
Okay.
craving because of their emotions. So
Okay.
the exercise and breathing exercise, so meditation can help you to deal with that emotion. So you would not need to go for the drive-through or buy some unhealthy food. So you substitute bad habit to the good habit, and the more you do it, the better you become. So it become your habitual or maybe first aid for your emotional disbalance at that particular time.
I've heard a lot of people, after being sexually assaulted, they gain a lot of weight.
Mhm.
So I'm listening to you from an emotional standpoint, but I also heard them say things like, I don't want anybody to ever desire me or want to touch me. So I gain weight. Is that more of a dietary or is it more mental when they're experiencing that?
So that is related to emotions, and I know there's so many examples of that because they don't want to be attractive. That's why sometimes it's even happen on unconscious level, and people don't know why they have cravings or why they want to eat food or even eating disorders until you start working with somebody or work with yourself and realize that that is related to that. And there is a lot of research even done on that topic of trauma and weight. And there is also maybe you heard about adverse childhood experience study, adverse childhood experiences. When that's all research started from the weight loss clinic, the one physician in I think Kaiser Permanente medical system in California, he had very successful weight loss clinic, but he noted that some people who start losing weight, they drop from his clinic. They don't come back and don't show up anymore when they start successfully losing weight. So he wanted to investigate why it happened because most of the people in his clinic were successfully losing weight. So he wanted to know, and he did surveys through with people who dropped from the program. And it was a small survey, and a lot of people saying, and a question that they answer, it was related to their trauma in childhood. So there was a big research. His clinic, along with CDC, they had interviewed 9,000 people, all related to trauma. So it started from the weight loss, but it was research on many different physical symptoms that was related to trauma. So yes, because you don't want to see yourself as a good looking person, you want to protect your body from somebody looking at you as a good figure or something like attractive. So that's why people unconsciously gaining weight, and also childhood experiences related to so many other physical symptoms or chronic diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, so many chronic diseases. And we know the more childhood experiences person had in their life, the more chronic diseases they accrue throughout their life. So that's how emotions and trauma manifest as a physical symptoms, and that's what I call like listen to your body. So yeah, your body gonna show up at some point in your life, your experiences and your emotions.
A
So
lot of people don't realize how much trauma, and especially childhood trauma, affects our overall health. And so if you don't address the trauma, you can be physically ill. And so I think it's so important. And our bodies do talk to us. I ignore a lot. I ignore knee pain. I ignore foot pain. And
mhm,
part of that's been the military. I ignored a lot of pain. But then I realized over the years that pain was telling me there's a problem, Vanessa, right? And I didn't pay attention to it. And so I want people to really focus on I have trauma, but I also have a lot of physical and mental things going on with me, and I need to listen to it. And I don't think that people really talk about that as much to really get to that point. You do a lot of research on like the hormones and some food and the dietary. And I like the fact that you do a complete, because you said it's physical, mental, and spiritual, right? So what does the process look like? How do you work with individuals to help them figure out first what's the problem, and then what's like steps that you would take to help them along that journey?
mhm. So, last few years, I concentrate more on trauma when I learn about my own and how I can connect it. Because until recently, I didn't even think my sexual assault as trauma. I didn't even think it as a sexual assault until I start listening other women talking about it and like, maybe all my physical problems that I had in my life was related to that. That happened with me 18 years ago, when I was 18. So, and I start learning more and more about trauma. And now it's trauma or anything trauma related, big trauma or small trauma. I always incorporate in my intake form when I talking to people. So it's a part of the healing journey.
Okay.
And we can start from trauma or we can end with trauma healing because not everybody ready to uncover and talk about it. So for me, start from the physical and I become more like spiritual and I was ready to deal with my trauma. But sometimes when I work with clients, like I offer and they do everything on the physical body. They do good diet, exercising, detoxification, supplements, everything they follow, but they cannot get to the healing or to the or losing weight or something that they need to deal with because they don't heal on a mental level or they don't deal with that trauma, which is deep root of the physical. So when we're done with all physical, like we done everything that is possible to change lifestyle and nutrition. So now maybe person is ready to go deeper. It's like going levels and levels.
Mhm.
So if you're ready to do spiritual or mental, uh, we start doing that. And it's mostly meditation, uncovering your deep trauma. Sometimes it's unpleasant, but I do individual work or I work with other practitioners who can help me with like deep trauma healing. Like I work with one friend who is a body healer. So she work and assess all your energetic and kind of chakra energy level. So sometimes I refer people to practitioners that I work with if I cannot help my clients. So, and we also look on the all level perspective, like we just talk about on spiritual, what you enjoy in your life, what you would like to have in your life that you don't have. So we try to work on that. And I call it life cycle. So there is one exercise that I do with my clients when they answer all their questions, like on the it's like a circle of life, and you put all like joy, love, relationship, and what percentage of that in your life. 100% is what you want to have, and zero that you don't have. On what level are you on different, like on relationship, on love, on work, on education, on joy in your life, or self-care? And we put as a goal, to the 100 and see where we stand on each of these areas. So that's how you heal your spiritual life and along with the physical body, and also energetic, and try to heal with trauma. And trauma is the hardest to heal, so it sometimes it takes long time, so we go slow and layer by layer.
Yeah. I feel like trauma healing is a lifetime.
Yes, for
For
sure.
most people that's older than me, so they've been working on it for years. And so it is layer by layer. It's not like overnight you wake up and the trauma is gone and you address it. It's something that we work on continuously and learn more things. You mentioned about energy and chakras. When you go to the doctor, you can't talk about energy. You can't talk about a spiritual alignment. And I think
Mhm.
it's important that people start learning how healing modalities really do work outside of medication. I know people that have so much pain and they don't realize why they're in pain and it's trauma related. And so listening to that. And do you focus on energy? Is that from a
Yeah.
meditation
Mhm.
standpoint?
Yeah.
Can you give us some examples of just some healing modalities that people can do that you work with?
Sure, there is a lot of trauma informed that what I do. So you can heal safe in your own body, or also you can feel safe in the environment. For example, you can even use heavy blanket, put on your body, or sleep on the heavy blanket. It feels like somebody's hugging you. Okay, so this is also like a comfort kind of feeling when particularly you live by yourself or you feel lonely, so you can use heavy blanket. Actually, I bought for my daughter because she has some anxiety during the COVID, so she started using heavy blanket and it helped her like calm the body. Also, another one, it's like self-healing technique, so when you can hug yourself like that and just sit and breathe, and it's very helpful. Just to help yourself to calm
I do this and just
and to love yourself. Just hug yourself as much as you can, particularly if you live by yourself. This is the best thing we can do. Just love ourselves and pet ourselves.
I never do this. Never. Okay. So
Yeah,
love myself, hug myself, pat myself, and just touch. So touch.
touch is very important. Yeah.
I have a heavy blanket and I used to sleep up under, then I stopped. So I guess I need to pull it back out because I do have a weighted
I
blanket.
think it's on needed basis. So if you feel like, I think it's very helpful for anxiety. So because it's like put a weight on you and you don't have that much vibration, because anxiety is like high vibration. And to calm you down, you need something to press on your body. So that is from the energy standpoint.
Okay.
And also tapping techniques. Also, I taught my daughter because she had some anxiety, so we can tap on the head. It's s- like like we just don't even need to tell anything. Like tapping on the head, it's already calming our nervous system. Yeah,
When you got anxiety.
yeah,
Okay.
particularly when we have anxiety, so it's calming.
My daughter has very high anxiety in the car. Like very she gets very nervous. She thinks everybody's about to have an accident. So if I try tapping and
Yeah, I taught my daughter to do that. And also, particularly with the car ride or any anxiety or any panic kind of situation, it's called box breathing. So you breathe on a count of four, you hold on count of four, you exhale on count of four, and hold again on count of four. It's like box breathing. Four, 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 four. And it's help because our breath can regulate our nervous system, sympathetic, parasympathetic. So box breathing is very helpful, and I taught my 11 years old daughter. So now when she has some anxiety, or like she has also in a car ride or sometimes in school when they're all stressed out, so she knows that those box breathing is helpful. So
so breathe in 4.
you want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Breathe in, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4, inhale on count of 4, hold on count of 4, exhale on 4, and hold on 4. And the last time, exhale, inhale on 4, hold, exhale, and hold. It's already better,
That
right?
calm me down.
Yeah.
I actually feel more relaxed.
And
And
it,
I'm not
and
just saying that, so I can see how somebody that's, you know, just a panic or
Mhm.
stressed out can do. So it's a box method: one, two, three,
Back, yeah, back brace, and it's easy. You don't need anything. You don't need to pay money, and you can be in any situation.
4. Yeah.
You can do that.
Maria said her trauma finally revealed itself when she was ready. It started as physical pain, then she started working on the emotional pain at the part after that, and that helped her heal. So yeah, it does show up. Thank you, Maria. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
And Lester said he was having a similar conversation with a group of individuals who were returning home after incarceration. So he works with a lot of individuals that are released from prison. So
Hmm.
thank you, Lester, for that. And we can always talk more about that. As what are some things that people can do? Because there's a lot of trauma from being in prison
Hmm.
that you have to deal with as well. Okay, so we have a breathing technique, the box technique, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hmm.
Weighted blankets, just loving yourself, hugging yourself. And
Mm,
those are very simple, very, very, very simple, very simple.
yeah. And also another one, it's kindness meditation. You can put on the heart and send love to your heart. Close your eyes, send love to your heart. It means that you send love to yourself. And also you can send love to your loved one. And after that, you can send love to your neighbor. Send love to your country. And send love to all people around the world. And send love to the universe. And go back to send love to yourself. And this you connect to everything with this love.
I don't think we send love to ourselves. That's not something that, matter of fact, I never was taught that. That people will say love yourself. Well, how do you really love yourself? By sending love to yourself and speaking it into your life.
And this is very important, particularly for women, because we take care of everything and everybody and forget about ourselves. We don't have time for ourselves. And I believe if you don't love yourself enough, you're not able to heal. Because just to change your diet, I look from the perspective if you love enough your body, you put good food in your body. And same for if you love your body and your soul, you put good stuff in you. And until you love yourself enough, you're not gonna do anything for yourself. So everything change stuff from loving yourself first.
Yeah.
And we don't have time. And self-care, it's a part of self-love. And in my book there is also a chapter, love yourself. So and there's a lot of tips how, like, from self-care techniques. You can do self-care for your body, like go for the spa, go for massage, and just take a long bath for yourself. So this is for the body, small things that you can do, but also for your mind, small self-care techniques. Just take meditation or listen nice music. So just don't think about what happened to tomorrow or what was yesterday. Just remove yourself and put headsets on and put music that you love, or some meditation music or classic music or something that, or dance, or go read some favorite book. So just spend time for yourself, give yourself some love on a physical level or spiritual level, on a mental level, or just unplug from all technologies and just go for a walk. So this is all type of small things that are free. You don't need to pay for them.
You need to pay.
just just invest time for yourself, and that's how you start loving yourself. And when I start changing my lifestyle and start working on myself and start using those techniques, my ex-husband said, "Oh, you spend too much time on yourself." I said, mm-hmm.
He said just
Now people see that I'm changing, yeah, and they don't love it, they don't like it.
yeah. So he said you spending too much time on yourself. So
Yeah.
you double it up.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And when you start changing and allowed yourself time for yourself, people start noticing it. And it's mean that you're doing good thing for yourself, even though they think that, yeah, you're selfish. It's never selfish. If you don't love yourself enough, you are not able to love other people. And that's how I say, first you love yourself, and you will be able to open your heart for others around you. And the energy will be different, and people will feel it. So,
I can feel your energy. We've never physically met, but I promise that even every time we've talked, it's just like I could just feel your energy. Everything you talk about is just so positive. You never come from a negative, dark place. And I want to be like that too. I want to make sure that I am coming from a very loving and healthy place. And I always tell people it is not selfish to love yourself, to put yourself first so that you could be there for others. I have a friend right now who I've been like begging to take time and just disconnect. So I'm going to go back to her one more time. I'm going to ask her to watch this podcast and and going to tell her to just give an hour to disconnect from everything. Disconnect at least an hour to
oh,
love.
we can start with 5 minutes. If you
Start with 5 minutes.
5 minutes, it's already you're doing something good for yourself. 1 hour, tell women to spend 1 hour for yourself. That's probably would be too much to ask in the beginning. So
So 1 hour is too much. Okay. So tell her 5 minutes. Give disconnect for 5 minutes. Walk away from yourself. No, she at least need to do 15. Put your phone down, walk outside, get some fresh air, walk around, and then come back. How about that?
oh yeah, yeah. Start from there. You can walk for 15 minutes. Yes, in a good weather.
In good weather. So I always take off Mondays now. So my self care is that I do not work on Mondays. And sometimes I'm tempted to do things because people contact me a lot. If it's not a survivor calling me, then it's not an emergency, right? To me. And so Mondays, I don't work. I don't plan anything on Mondays. And that's my self care day. And for me, self care day is doing nothing. If I might read a book or watch Netflix, I think I slept to like 11 yesterday
Oh,
because I didn't want to do nothing but just relax and rest. So
just be with yourself. That's called self-care.
that was it. And then sometimes people get upset when you practice self care. They'll say, "Well, you didn't answer the phone." I was like, "Oh, this is my self care day," and they don't get it. Like, and they don't get it. Like you didn't respond to me, but I need a break.
Yeah.
And I just realized if people don't understand that I have to take a break for me, then maybe they shouldn't be in my circle. And
Mhm.
you will be okay because I am going to make sure that I practice self care and
And,
self love.
and another things, learn how to say no, because this is also self-care. So because if you tell yes to somebody, it's mean that you say no to yourself. So learn to say no. You can say no to other people without any explanation, and this is one of the self-care technique as well.
That you can do.
Yeah.
Just say no. I've started saying no though. I really have.
Yeah.
This month I am not. I am busy, but I'm not as busy as I have been in previous years. I've turned down some speaking engagements this year and said I just have too much going on. And so I was really proud of myself because it's hard to tell people no, especially when you look at it as it's an honor that they even considered you and asked you, you know? And so I hate to say no, but this year I really did. I said, well, I can't do it. I won't train back to back. I have to have a day in between teachings. And so I've said no. And I'm proud of myself,
Mhm.
actually.
And even my kids knows about self-care. So when I don't take care of myself, or I'm busy with some project, they say, "Mom, you need a bath." So my younger daughter knows how to prepare like salt bath. She put some essential oil. She put nice ambient in the bathroom, and I'll take self-care 15-20 minutes
Right.
in a bath.
Yeah, I wish my daughter and my son need to hear this because I would love for them to run me a bath for my self care. That would be real cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. And they give me massage, also gift certificate for massage for for Christmas, for last Christmas. So they know what self-care I teach them.
Experience. We teach them. You know, I guess that we do need to teach our children about self care and about saying no and self preservation. We don't do that. I know nobody ever talked to me about it, and I know I have not talked to my kids about it. So you're right. We should be talking to them about self care and saying no and taking time out for themselves as they get older and more stressful. You know, it's more stressful life. So
I had to learn that too because I never said no before. And it's called boundaries. We have to put boundaries around ourselves just to protect our energy. That's how we consume. And because other people consume our energy if we always say yes. So we need to put boundaries and learn how to say no without explanations.
I love that. I love it. Yeah, people would always say set boundaries, but they don't tell you how. Or
Right.
what that really means is setting boundaries. Right.
Mhm.
Before we get out of here, I wanted to know if there was anything that you wanted the audience to know that we did not discuss. Is there something else that you want to bring up? And also, if you can give your contact information so that individuals can contact you, and I have it on the screen, and your website, and how to buy your book.
Mhm. So I have a lot of information on my website. And also, there is a seven stressful reducing techniques that I have like free book on my website. All those tips in that small ebook. My book is also available on all online bookstores in Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and other places. My website holisticexpert.org. I also co-founder of the Evolving Story of Women, an advocacy group to stop sexual violence. And we have a Facebook group. Also, we run online events. And our next event, actually, this Sunday, and we will be talking about pornography and how it's affect our sexuality, and also how it affects sexual abuse and violence. So you're welcome, and everybody welcome to join us. And you can contact me on my website, and I have 30 minutes free consultation. So if anybody interested in women's health, natural hormonal balancing, I am offering that.
Thank you. Thank you. I think it's important to at least look into a holistic way of healing. You know, sometimes we don't never consider it. We always go to the doctor, we're on medication, a lot of medication. So, what are some things that you could do naturally? So, holisticexpert.org. It's a really good website. I did go on and check you out and learn some things while I was on there. And so, I just think that everybody should check it out, especially if you have a family member or yourself is struggling and trauma has been part of it, or you're craving or you're in pain to check out Dr. Larissa. She's amazing and has a lot of information. You know, I first heard you say that you no longer practice medicine here in the United States, that shocked me. That's stuck with me for a while because that says a lot about our healthcare system where you come from a place that is more holistic. And so I I thank you for making the decision to go the holistic way because we need more holistic practitioners. And I thank you for sharing your voice and letting us know like all the toxins we put in our bodies and how we really can heal by doing simple healing modalities and changing our diet, right? Things that we don't want to hear either, things that we don't want to hear. So I thank you for that.
Sure, and we can start small. You don't have to jump to something big. We can start small and go from there.
Well, this is what I want to start with. So
Yeah,
I don't like water as it is, right? I do not like water. I force myself to drink water. So I thought I was doing something special by drinking water. So I am going to do more. I do have a filter on my refrigerator, so I'm going to drink more water out of that and not
yeah,
out of the bottle. So
right.
that's going to be one of my first major changes. And also, I am going to hug and love
Hug.
myself more.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
yeah.
that. I'm trying. I'm trying that. So thank you. I appreciate just the natural conversation because I am really on a natural holistic journey myself. So it means a lot to me that somebody else did. So thank you so very much for just sharing your knowledge and being here and being so amazing. I love the work that you do, and I ask God to continue to just bless you in your journey and that more people find out about you and know about just the holistic practices that you do. So you all reach out to her. She is phenomenal. She's a survivor and she's healed herself. Look at her skin just glowing. So I love it.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for inviting me and virtual hug to everybody.
Virtual hug. I love it. I love it. We need to share more love and kindness around the world. So
Yes.
that means a lot. It definitely does. You have heard from Dr. Larisa Sharipova. She is amazing. She's amazing. You can contact her on her website, holisticexpert.org, or at larissa70usa at yahoo.com. And you can find out information about her books and just do the free consultation to see if there's some things that she could do to even help you on your journey and try to figure out what's going on with you from a pain perspective. And so I think that's important. Hopefully all of you are joining events all throughout the month in your area because it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. There are some amazing events going on. Look them up in your community. On April the 30th, we are having Stump Out Crime. It's the end of Crime Victims Week. You'll see a lot of events about Crime Victims Week. And we will be at Benedict College Football Stadium on April 30th at 11 a.m. And we are going to be giving out free food, clothes, HIV screening, COVID testing, COVID vaccination. We'll have a lot of nonprofits there. I just got word that Dominion Energy going to be there, so I'm really excited about that. We're going to have car clubs out there. It is going to be an amazing day, and we're going to have performers. It's going to be a step show and just a day of love and kindness. And I hope that all of you come out. And also save the date for October 15th. It is going to be our domestic violence walk. You can register now. All the information and upcoming events that we're having are available on hushnomore.org. So check out our website, check out the resources that we have, and remember that you are not alone and that you have a right to tell it and to heal. Peace and blessings to all of you. Reach out if you need us.
Thank you.